Good afternoon. You have tuned in for the Gold Line Scottish Curling Junior Mixed Doubles Championships. You have Jane Sterling and Fraser Kingan here this afternoon to talk to you about the game between Craig Davey and Bryce Henderson.
As you can see, Bryce Henderson are playing first, which means Craig Davey must have won the draw shot and got hammer in the set. It's a nice first shot by Faye there.
The team with hammer will have their colour of stone placed at the back of the forefoot, and the team that does not have hammer, they will have theirs in the free guard zone. As you can see, both teams have made great use of their pre-game practice and got a really good feel for the draw weight. With the rules in mixed doubles, you aren't allowed to hit from right at the start of the game. You can only hit stones out of play from the fourth thrown stone in each end. So as you can see, we end up with quite a guddled forefoot, and we're seeing already a really well played game from this first end. Forefoot's starting to get quite congested, so as you can see, James is trying to create a little bit of space there, so they've got more space to get some more of their red stones in there.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see a big hit weight coming in the next couple of shots to try and open up the scoring area.
So to give you a bit of context about the competition, the teams are currently playing a round robin phase of the competition. There are 3 groups of 5. Angus and Faye are going well so far. They've won both of their games, so are 2-0 so far, and they've also had the bye in their group. James and Lisa have played 3 of their games. They've got 1 win and 2 losses currently, so be looking to pick up a win here to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Very close to being a perfect shot there from James, but just over curled slightly and got quite an unlucky result out of it.
James and Lisa are taking some time here to consider how best to get their stones in for shot. It's looking quite congested in that 4-foot area. And at this stage in the end, they're potentially considering whether they might be giving up a steal, and if so, how to make sure that it's at maximum a steal of 1 for Bryson Henderson.
I think, in my opinion, you need to be trying to open up the scoring area here and try and give yourself a draw to the bottom of the 4-foot for your 1 point, or maximum give up a steal of 1 by playing the same draw. There's not much room to get in there just now.
So both teams here have elected to have the females playing the first and last stones for their team, and the males playing those middle 3. So this is the last of James's stones coming up here.
It's good.
There you go. Plenty weight, lifting plenty of stones at the back there. Not too much movement at the front of the forefoot.
Yeah, I think he'd be hoping to get a slightly better result out of that, but still, they're going to have a shot to score, I think. Or at least cut them down to 1.
Those stones at the back of the forefoot that James has just lifted, they act as catchers for lots of the stones more towards the front of the forefoot, but there's now lots of space. If James and Lisa elect to try and remove some of those stones, there's a bit more space for movement there.
I think we'll see Faye throw in a kind of backline hack weight here on the nose of their own blue to remove the red behind it, and hopefully lie 2 shots, if not really protect the 1 blue they have in there for shot.
So we've now got Faye in the hack for her last stone of this end. She usually skips her junior ladies team, so it's used to throwing that last stone of the end. I think she'll be quite happy with that result there. She's removed one of the red stones from play and has also protected their blue shot stone.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good end from the Bryce Henderson team. All they have is this tap to the button on the red on the in-turn, but it's risky. If you ever tap it a foot too far, you can give up a steal of 2. Could be line 2 just now, I'm not sure the way they're looking at it. James and Lisa obviously decided it was too risky to play anything, so they just threw it away. You see that quite often in mixed doubles. If they decide it's too dangerous to play anything and it could just cause you more harm, there's quite a lot of last rocks just thrown away.
So that's a steal of 1 for Bryce Henderson in the first end. The importance of hammer in mixed doubles is slightly less than that of the men's and women's game. Steals are a lot more common, just due to the nature of having that many stones in play. So I think both teams will be quite happy with that start to the game. They've both shown some great understanding of the weight for this sheet, and they seem quite happy with what they're throwing. So quite a conservative start.
Yeah, I think the only difference in the end was the Bryce Henderson team just got their stone positioning slightly better than the Craig Davey team, so that could have went either way really, just a matter of inches.
So now we'll have Faye going for the freeze on the red placed stone in the house. Should be looking a little bit heavy here, but it's swinging nicely. That's a lovely start.
Yeah, that's the absolutely perfect stone for the start of the mixed doubles end. That's what everybody aims for. It's that perfect freeze to the back four.
Faye's had some good practice at this recently. She competed in the Dumfries International World Curling Tour event, and in that event Faye was playing with James. So we've had a bit of switch around of partners. Faye and James have met with some great success in that event, defeating some very reputable mixed doubles teams.
Yep, they actually beat the current Scottish mixed doubles champions, Scott Andrews and Gina Aitken, in the round robin stage. So they made the quarterfinals and lost out in a really close game.
They were 5-0 up at the start of that game. We remember it well because it was against us. We managed to fight them off eventually, but they displayed some excellent shot making and great tactics, and we were really pleased to see some young curlers enjoying playing mixed doubles at such a high level.
It does seem to be growing in the sport, especially in Scotland. There's a lot more chances to play mixed doubles, and a lot more of the juniors are taking it up alongside their junior men's and women's careers.
Lisa just coming up a little bit short with her first stone there, so Angus has capitalised on that and has popped around another stone into the top four.
Yeah, that's an absolutely perfect setup from Angus and Faye there. You'll see James having to bail early on in this end and try and open it up to get a chance to move those two blue stones in the forefoot.
This is now the fourth thrown stone of the end. That means that James can take the chance to remove some stones from play and create some space for them to get in to the forefoot area.
Oof, that was close.
He's removed one of the guards and was maybe hoping to make contact in the house, but just slid by those forefoot stones.
The only problem with playing that shot was it was kind of all or nothing. If you peel it off, there's still another centre guard up there. So I don't know if that was the right call or not, but
So Angus put his second stone right round into the forefoot as well. He's created a couple of angles there, which may play into James and Lisa's hands a little, but I think that lovely first draw from Faye's well locked on at the back and is probably looking to save for the next few stones of this.
yeah, I think Angus would have ideally liked to have curled another half stone to try and freeze right on the nose of the blue, but he's just bounced off slightly, which is, I think they're still going for the run back, but there's a chance to lift both the top two and the one they're running in. But yeah, as Jane said, the one that's back at the forefoot that Faye played for the first one is going nowhere for at least two shots. Slightly wide there, so just peeling off the centre guard, and we'll probably see Angus throwing it straight back on.
can see Faye is in the head giving ice for Angus. And Angus is throwing his stones and then getting up to sweep them. That's a lovely guard for him there. Maybe a little bit closer to the rings than he wanted, but still
I think he'll be pretty happy with that. The line was the most important thing there.
In mixed doubles, you can elect to have somebody holding the brush for you, or you can elect to have your sweeper down beside you, which is what you can see James and Lisa going for just now. You can change that at any time. There's no rules about where you need to be. It's just all about figuring out the strengths of your team and how best to use your skills.
Yeah, the way this end is looking, it's looking like a pretty solid steal for Angus and Faye here. It's going to take a really good shot from James here to avoid giving up a steal of probably 2. It's close though. It's a pretty nice shot from James, but it's still, they really would be wanting to move that one that's top of the 4 foot to give himself a chance to get in for shot with their last one.
So this is the last stone of this end, coming up for Bryce Henderson. They'll just be looking to protect their good position in the house at the moment.
Yeah, I think they were talking about potentially trying to tap this in to secure the 2 points, but I think this is looking pretty perfect. Yeah, that's not leaving much for James and Lisa here. Might have a draw to the side of the button too. I don't even know if they have that. It's a great shot from Faye.
You might have seen a lot of teams just throw a guard in that situation. They were lying quite well in the 4 foot, considering they didn't have the hammer, but an aggressive call there from Angus and Faye, but it's paid off for them. They've got a good setup there, and I've left Lisa with not much in this situation.
That's one of those shots you can just kind of play, and if you do make it, it's fine, but you always just have to miss it on the short side, and then you come up as a guard if you miss it, which is a good plan B. Probably seeing a draw to the side of the button here, potentially cut them down. I don't really know if it's there. Oh, it's a throwaway again.
I think that'll be a steal of 2.
Steal of 2, I think, for Faye and Angus. It's a great start from them, just some really good shot making.
with Faye's first shot there, she came up a little bit short. Maybe the first slight error we've seen from her this game. And Lisa would have been looking to really capitalise on that and get another stone round into the forefoot, but unfortunately she's come up heavy and the stone has gone straight through the rings.
No, I think it's still biting at the back of the 12-foot.
I stand corrected, it is still biting at the back of the 12-foot.
From this camera, it's still biting just, but Bryce Henderson will be lying second shot, so they get another chance to play this come around on freeze the back 4-1, just on the other turn this time.
Angus's stone just captured that top 12-1 and sitting out in the 8-foot. Still a really useful rock for blue. We talk about stones in the kind of 8-foot top 4 area as control rocks. They're a lot of use in good setup shots for your future shots, and they also kind of block the route in for the opposition.
Yep, the weight on Angus's shot there looked perfect. It just curled an inch too much for them. I think it would have been absolutely perfect if they got past.
At 3 up, Bryce Henderson will be happy to try and force James and Lisa into scoring just 1 at this end.
Yeah, I think even if they give up 2 here, they'll still be pretty happy with the way they've started this game. But yeah, their aim this end will be to try and force 1. Just slightly tight and light from James there, which is never a good combination. So Angus will just be looking to come either right on top of the red or even just top of the button would be the perfect spot. Even if he comes top 8-foot here, they've got shots on both turns to get in there, and it's blocking off James and Lisa's path in. It's a really nice shot from Angus there, exactly where he'd want it. Just puts a wee bit more pressure on James and Lisa here.
There's still space for them to draw around into the 4-foot and get shot stone, just on top of the one that Angus has just thrown, but there's not really much space for them to get in for a second.
No, I think ideally here they would, if they can, I don't know how much the ice is curling this weekend, but if you could ever get round there with a kind of back 8-foot, back 12-foot weight and just kind of bump the red off and open up a wee bit of space and stick on the nose, it'd be the ideal shot, but I don't know if you can curl that much to make that.
Been hearing reports of good ice conditions here in Dumfries this weekend.
So it's pretty close. Just to curl a touch. It's not a bad result, but he's just bumped off, which has given Angus Bryce the chance to bring another one round. And he's just played this line in the same weight, so just needs to play the same shot again. That's easier said than done sometimes.
Angus on the sweep there, and Faye utilising her skipping skills, calling the line for him.
Again's looking really close from Angus. Yeah, tiny bit heavy, but you can just rub off the red. Perfect. This could be another steal of 2. To make some really good shots here. See a run back coming up.
And Angus are just playing to their strengths here. They've got their draw weight really well, and they're confident on the lines they need to be taking. And they're really dictating the game at this stage, causing James and Lisa to need to throw some big shots, some tricky shots. At the same time, they're not getting a chance to settle into that draw weight quite as well. And it's really key in mixed doubles to have that draw weight in your back pocket when you need it.
That's a really good shot from James there, just to kind of open things up and give them a chance to score. We'll see Faye just trying to come round top of the button here as they do live shot just now. It's definitely given James and Lisa some options with their last shot, which they didn't really have before.
I think Faye and Angus will still be feeling fairly confident of their force here at least. There's a lot of blue counters around the rings, and Lisa will need to use both her shooter and the one sitting at the back of the 4-foot there if she wants to try and score 2 at this end.
See Angus on the sweep again. This one's pulling up a wee bit short, but it still does the job of guarding that blue, so that they can't play an easy shot to get at it. They are looking at playing pretty tough angled run, I think, which is very risky, because if you ever catch it a wee bit too much of it, you can end up picking your own out and giving up a steal of 5.
I think what we're seeing from both Angus and Faye is they're on the correct side of the error with most of their shots. Faye was absolutely fine to come up a few feet short there and block the route in for the draw for Lisa.
I think we might be just seeing a wee bit of impatience here from James and Lisa. I think this is a kind of shot, if you don't make it, you could give up a bundle and lose the game, but a steal of 1 here, you've still got a chance to come back into the game.
The nature of mixed doubles allows for more regular scores of kind of 2s, 3s, quite often see the odd 4 popping up.
Even more chance of steals, as we mentioned earlier, so I think this is maybe a wee bit impatient if they are going for this angled run. Looks like they're throwing it.
As an excellent shot there.
Take back what I said now.
A potentially risky one, but if you see the shot and you feel confident throwing it, by all means.
Yeah, no, that was a great shot and really nice weight to throw it at. I think they decided to throw it at a softer weight, so if they did catch their own, they wouldn't remove both their shots from play. really good team shot, that one.
So that brings the score to 3-2 to Bryce Henderson. I think that'll give James and Lisa a bit of a boost. They were looking a little bit downtrodden after the first couple of ends, weren't really getting their shots where they wanted them, but I'm sure that'll give them a bit of momentum, and they'll be looking to continue that into the next end. So this is the first end that Bryce Henderson have had the hammer, which means it's Lisa's first try at throwing that freeze around into the forefoot. She's made a nice job of that, great line, and she's just tapped back the blue stone ever so slightly. Still a really nice one there. Was a good weight there from Faye, but she's just come up slightly wide. She was hoping to make contact or freeze onto that red stone, but she's just come up slightly behind it. So we'll see James here try and get his stone round into the forefoot as well. Even though they're one shot down, there's no need for Craig Davey to go too hard to scale here. A force of one would be absolutely fine for them here. Faye and Angus not liking the look of the setup here, and I think we're going to see them run to try and create some more scoring space, because they'll be looking to get at least a score of 1, hopefully 2, with the hammer here. Just see the guard peeled off. That gives them access into the stones in the forefoot, and a bit of a clearer path in to try and score. So I think they'll be quite happy with themselves a nice centre guard replacement there. I think Angus can see slightly more of the reds in the forefoot now. He's going to make a play on those, try and generate some space when it comes round to Faye's last shot. Slightly quieter weight here. I think he'll be looking to try and get to the nose of the red at top 4. Squeezes past the guard. Almost over curls slightly, but I think he'll be quite happy with that.
So we've got some score updates from the other games that are going on in this session. So Millie Smith and Ewan Kyle are 7-0 up after 4 ends on Mark Watt and Alex McIntosh. Logan Carson and Rebecca Dalgleish are 4-5 down to Andrew Cromar and Shona Crawford. Drew and Carson and Beth Rowley are 6-0 up on Archie Hislop and Eve Marchbank. Ryan McCormick and Kirsty Barr are I think they're actually 4-2 up now on Oren Carson and Hannah Faris. And Duncan McFadgen and Leanne McKenzie are 4-0 up on Christopher Morris and Susie Smith.
There's some relatively experienced pairings in the field this weekend. Duncan McFadgen and Leanne McKenzie are the reigning champions of this event.
Duncan also, with a different partner, won the Dumfries International Mixed Doubles event that was on 2 weeks ago. They won that one, going unbeaten through the whole week and playing some really good curling. Some really good shots.
James and Lisa, they've been playing mixed doubles together
It'll
for
be
a
their
while
second
now.
season now together, so yeah, they've played quite a lot, and they've played the Scottish Championships last season, and they also were semi-finalists in this event last season.
They narrowly missed out on the playoffs at this year's Scottish Mixed Doubles Championships. They had a tough group and put in some great performances, and I think they were disappointed to so narrowly miss the playoffs. They'll be looking to make up for that a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they missed out on the playoffs just on draw shot alone, so it was pretty tough for them, I think. You see, they've came back well this end and got some good stone positioning and making Angus and Faye play the bail shots.
That was a good attempt there from Angus.
Yeah, it wasn't far away from making it really well.
For such young teams, there's a lot of experience on the ice in this game. Both James and Lisa were at this year's World Junior Championships in Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Yep, James brought home the bronze medal this year. And Angus was also out at the European Youth Olympic Festival about a month or so ago, and they brought home the gold medal. So well done to them for that. We're seeing Lisa, I think, trying to throw the guard here, just to try and stop Faye playing takeout and trying to remove both the reds and the button just now. And they're sweeping it hard to curl, so I don't know if it's a wee bit wide. looks pretty good to me.
They've been getting a lot of late curl on their stones. They've put that in a great position there.
They've definitely covered the right side of that stone anyway. To get rid of both of them, they would have had to catch it on the right hand side as we look at it, and they've covered that. And they've also made the in off the blue that Angus was just looking at a lot tougher as well. I think that guard's ended up in the perfect spot for them.
James and Lisa will be pleased with their bounce back after a little bit of a slow start from them. And this game's looking like it's shaping up to be a very close one. Some excellent shots being made by both teams.
Seeing Angus really sweeping to curl here. It looks pretty close. Played a good shot to cut them down to 1, I think. So I think that's a steal of 1, possibly 2 for James and Lisa.
A steal of 1 for Craig Davey to even up the scoreline. So halfway through the game, it is 3-all, and we'll see Bryce Henderson with the hammer again this end.
Yeah, we'll soon start to see the power plays getting played in the second half of the game. It's not part of the rules that you have to use them in the second half, but most teams tend to use them in the later stages of the game. However, we did notice last weekend when we were at an event that there was a team used theirs in the first end, which was a bit of a surprise. And power play is when the stones, instead of being positioned on the centre line, are positioned out on the kind of edge of the 8-foot circle. And the team with hammer gets to choose when to use that.
Each team gets 1 power play that they can use. Power plays can only be used in the main part of the game, so the main 8 ends. If there's an extra end, no power plays allowed. You don't have to use your power play. Sometimes you don't get an opportunity to use your power play.
That was a great shot from Lisa there to start the end, right on top.
So Faye's responded well with another freeze on top. That's a great start to this end from both teams. If you make that first freeze, if you're the team that's throwing first in the end, it's a really good start on your mission to force the opposition to a score of just one. It's another nice freeze round there as well. These guys are playing some excellent shots and getting some really great aggressive mixed double style ends set up. If you've got any questions for us at all about mixed doubles or about the event, feel free to comment in the live chat on YouTube. We've got it sitting here and we'd be happy to answer any questions you've got. James's stone over curling slightly there, but his really great weight has put it in a good control lock spot. I think he'll be quite happy with the outcome of that. A lot of late curl for his stones especially. There was looking just to set up some opportunities for their team on both sides of the sheet. It's difficult for James and Lisa to cover all of their options now. So I think that's quite a smart call there, thinking ahead.
Yeah, I think if I was James and Lisa here, you'd probably cover the right-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. I don't see how Faye and Angus can get much going on the right-hand side here. On the left-hand side, sorry. Even on the right-hand side, it's struggling.
So we have a couple of completed games in this session. Stu Carson and Beth Rowley have come away with the win against Archie Hislop and Eve Marchbank.
And Ewan Kyle and Millie Smith have beaten Mark Watt and Alex McIntosh. I think it was 8-0 after 5 ends, I believe. See, Angus has just caught the guard there, which is really, well, it's not actually a disaster.
So at the moment, James and Lisa are probably assessing that they've got 2 red stones in there, but they're quite vulnerable at the back, and there's an opportunity for Faye and Angus to potentially lift both of those stones.
Yeah, I think they're potentially looking at playing a kind of soft weight takeout on the blue on the edge of the forefoot, just on the left hand side as we look at it. Either that or throw the guard. I don't know if, I think they might only lie 1 just now. It's hard to tell. If they could get a steal here, they would be pretty happy. James sweeping to curl, but it looks like it's going to get to a good spot. Yeah, that's a nice shot from Lisa. There might still be a gap there to catch enough of it. I think there might still be a shot there for 2, but it's really not easy. Could even be for 3.
She'll be looking to come through on the in-turn through that port. She can't throw too much weight. She'll want to get a little bit of curl once she's past that guard.
Yeah, we might see them throwing a kind of barrier weight here. Maybe even just a hack weight to move both those reds to the back of the 8 foot and score 2. So it looks like they are trying this through the gap takeout, I believe. Sweeping to curl, so I don't know if it's a wee bit wide. She's looking pretty close, actually. Oh, great shot for 2, I think. Maybe 3? No, just 2. But really good shot for 2.
There's a really nice throw there, and some excellent sweeping and line calling to get a score of 2 there.
Yep, a good team shot and well communicated.
This is, we believe, Faye and Angus's first event playing mixed doubles together.
Yep, they both played in this event last season, but with different partners. Faye played with Andrew Robson, who is also from Dumfries like Faye, and Angus played with Katie McMillan, who also is playing this weekend with a different partner.
So a lot of new pairings and some more experienced ones out there, and players will be getting used to who's a good match for them in their team. Still a relatively new discipline. The Junior Championships is still relatively new, so we'll be trying out some new pairings, seeing who they work well with, as it's really important in mixed doubles. You get on really well with your teammate, you communicate well, and you can come to agreement on shots well. This is looking like a great pairing.
That's another good shot from Faye. She's not missed many of those first ones at all.
Since that first blue stone's not quite locked on the back, we'll see Lisa here trying to nudge it slightly.
Slightly more than that, should be hoping, but ideally in that situation you try and bump it to keep your shooter top of the tee line and bump your opposition stone to kind of back 4, back 8 foot.
You'd be looking to throw a back 4 weight at that shot, and I think she was possibly
Back
slightly
12,
heavy.
Yeah, she was just maybe 2 or 3 feet heavy on the weight.
Would have been a nice line if she'd been just a couple of feet shorter. But since the stone had a little bit more running on it, it doesn't curl quite as much. So again, we'll see Angus and Faye retreating to their plan that we saw in ends 1 and 2 from them, just trying to put an aggressive second blue stone in that 4 foot.
Yeah, this one's looking really good again. Yeah, really nice shot for Angus. Just really cutting down the scoring area and keeping the angles nice for them as well.
Really playing to their strengths well, making those great draws. Those aggressive calls from Angus and Faye are causing James to have to play those run backs again. He's been pretty close on most of them, but he's just not quite making contact in the house where he wants to. But peeling the guard off at this stage isn't a bad call. And I think that Angus will look to just replace that guard now.
Probably a wee bit further than Angus would have wanted to come with that one. I'll just give James a chance to blast everything and open up the scoring area, but there's a good chance that he loses both the back reds if he tries this. But we'll soon find out.
So with the hammer here, James and Lisa had the opportunity and could have, if they'd elected to, taken their power play. But they've obviously decided they'd rather save that power play. They'll be looking to score in this end. Hopefully force Bryce Henderson to score in 7, where we'd likely see their power play, and save their power play for the last end.
Yeah, James wasn't far away from making the shot there. You know, he has moved that blue off the top, which has given them a chance to move both the blues with one shot rather than taking 2 shots to move them. So although it wasn't perfect, it has made it look a lot better than it was before.
The power plays, when they do come around, they give the opportunity for teams to try and score multiple stones. There's a lot more space open in the forefoot, and a lot of teams see it as an opportunity to score at least 2, maybe 3.
So I think we're seeing Angus here trying to play the blue onto the red and to lift both the back reds with his shot here, and it's looking pretty close. Yeah, nice shot. This is looking like a force